Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And welcome back, everybody. There's this thing called energy healing that can support you, help you to feel better, help you move your life forward. And if you don't know, you just don't know. I didn't. I heard this term Reiki when I was a kid. Not even kidding. And I was like, what is that? And then I experienced a energy healing session with a Reiki practitioner, and wow, the feeling was great. Had just clarity, felt lighter. That's me. I want to find out what the people she works with tell her. She's a fantastic Reiki practitioner at the Reiki Cottage. By the way, she's in Kentucky, but you can do this virtually anywhere. Ashlie Bradley is back with us. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Very well, very well. I know you're in Kentucky, and things are probably a little colder than they are here in New York, which is really, really odd. Are you?
Yeah, it's pretty strange.
Yeah, are you in your cottage? Is there a cottage we call a Reiki cottage?
There's actually, yes, there is a cottage, but no, I'm not at my cottage today.
Gotcha. So let's explain for everybody what this Reiki thing is. Let's take it right from the beginning.
Sure. Okay. So Reiki is Ray is life energy, and Ki is force. So those together is like life force energy. Basically, I'm just a conduit when it comes to Reiki. So Reiki comes from source through me to my to whoever I'm working on. It could be an animal, a property, or a person. I also do plants. So, I have like a wide range of things that I do, people, places, and things that I do work with.
So when you're working with somebody, my best description is providing them with good energy. Would that be accurate?
I mean, I would like to think, yes. I would like to think that it's good energy. It's healing energy for sure. So I would think good energy is healing energy. Yes.
How and why does somebody need Reiki?
Well, there's multiple reasons. They could be, depression, PTSD, grief, pain, insomnia. There's multiple of reasons. And some people just, want change in their life and they don't know really how to get it. And this is just kind of a good start to kind of help get your, creative juices flowing.
Would you say, Ashlie, that the reason that we have challenges is that the energy within our bodies is stuck and you're able to free it using Reiki?
Yes, I would say so. So when anybody comes to me, I always do Reiki pretty much the same. I'm not your conventional Reiki master. I kind of go, I throw in all kinds of different things into my practice. So, for instance, you're coming to me, Steve, and I get you on my table. Well, actually, you come to me, we're going to sit down, we're going to have like a conversation. So we're going to see what's going on, just 15-minute rapport on, life,
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to direct you to my table. You lay face up with, just take your shoes off. I have blankets, just keep you warm. I always do something called a chakra alignment. So we have like 7 energy sources through our body, and they're each connected to different organs. And they also they do different things. So if you have if one is not so it moves from clockwise to counterclockwise down each one. So there's 7. So what I always do is when I get somebody on my table, I do something called a chakra alignment, and I do it with crystals because I am crystal certified also.
Oh, wow.
So I take crystals and I lay them on your body. And then I take a pendulum and I just go over so I can read the speed of your chakras. And then I align them energetically. So I just kind of raise them up all to the same. And then I go over it again with the pendulum and then see, where the speeds are. And I try, to make it all coexisting at the same speed.
How did this all begin for you? Take us, from your journey. And then I also want you to, I guess at the end of that, how Reiki supported you, that aha moment, because I've got one I'll share later, but where you knew, okay, oh my gosh, this is the real deal.
Yeah.
How did your journey begin here?
Okay. Uh, I'm a hands-on healer also. So I was born with like the light within is what I call it. So I was a natural healer. And whenever I would heal, it would kind of make me a little sick on the, like make my stomach sick, or I was not releasing what I was, the energy from other people. So whatever healing element I was healing on them, I would absorb. So it wasn't really benefiting me. Um, I'd say it was about 2010. I was having a lot of issues personally with some paranormal stuff in my life, and I didn't understand really what was going on. And I called a team in, and they came in and they told me to um, that that I was a medium also, and that along with the energy natural healing thing, I didn't know really everything was just kind of spinning out of control. And somebody was like, you need to check into something called Reiki. I think it would really benefit you. And so I did. Man, I can't even tell you, Steve, it has been completely life-changing for me. But the one thing that I can say that has been completely a game changer is with Reiki, I still heal. However, I don't touch, I hover. I do the hover method now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody really wants me to touch them, I always ask if it's okay first. And then I can cut off the energy. So I call it like the Reiki chop. So when I'm finished with a session, I can remove their energy from me and I don't carry it with me. So that has been the biggest game changer for me. And it has been so rewarding.
Wow. You're a massive empath.
I am.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that calls other people out on that until I took a strength assessment test. And out of 34 strengths, number one was communication. Duh. Okay, I got that. Number two was empath. I was like, what? No, it can't be.
Wow.
No. Yeah. And I thought out of 34, it's probably floating like 12, 15, whatever. It smacked me in the face. And isn't it, I'm not being negative here, just being real. Isn't it a blessing and a curse at the same time?
It is. It is, because, you do when you walk into a room, you can kind of assess like the energy of what you're walking into. Mm-hmm. So, also you can change that also. So if you're in a horrible mood, you can divert the room. Or if you're in a great mood, you can kind of divert the room, but you can also feel the energy in the room when you walk in, and it can be a little uncomfortable at times.
Sure. And also in regular life, those around you, if they got stuff going on, especially loved ones, mm-hmm. It's just like a weight, like just pulls you down because you care. Yeah. But now it's even more weight on you because you care.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to abandon anybody like during their time, but also you can't take on their stuff. So, and that's also been a great thing for me too, because I've always been such a caregiver, and and I've always kind of went overboard on it. So now I can kind of put the brakes on it a little bit and not feel guilty.
How do you do that?
Man, I don't know. I've had to learn how to love from afar a whole lot, and it's been a long process coming.
I was sitting here on the edge of my seat, waiting for the secret sauce. Like, all right, how do you shut the empath thing off when you need to? Yeah,
yeah.
I get it.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah. It's a journey. You can do virtual, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
What was that moment that you realized that this Reiki thing is real?
Oh man, I think honestly, when I was going to get certified, I was driving there, and I'm not going to even kid you not. I kid you not, Steve. I got certified first, Reiki 1 through Master online. I did not feel the personal bump that I needed, so I went back again in 2017 and did it in person. So, wow. I decided,
so you're double certified.
Yeah, I guess so. So I just, I didn't feel the bump that I needed from the attunement. And that's what you get from your master, from master to student. It comes from source to master to student. So I didn't feel that attunement took for me the first time. And so I didn't really want to do Reiki on anyone until I went back and did it hands-on.
Wow.
So now when I do Reiki, I will do sessions virtually, but when I teach, I won't teach it virtually. I'll only teach it in person.
And that moment that hit you, maybe you had Reiki. What was that?
It was, yeah. I was literally driving there, and I was like, I don't know if I'm even worthy to do this. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. It was like I don't want to be a disservice to anyone. I don't want my energy to be a discrepancy. And so when I got there, I just sat down and I was crying my eyes out. I was just bawling. No, I didn't know one person in the room. Nobody knew me. They're like, "What is this crazy lady doing, just crying?" I was just like, I just knew I needed to be there. I knew I needed to be there, and it changed my life.
I remember, and thank you for sharing that. I get it. I had a Reiki session virtual, and the practitioner was like, I don't know, 2,000 miles away. We didn't even really talk. And it was a text. All right, I'm going to begin at 8:00. Should be done like 8:45, whatever. I'll text you when I'm done. Get in a comfortable spot. So I did. I could swear that I was feeling something from my head to my feet to my head, but I was trying to get out of my head because I was thinking, well, because I know she's doing something, maybe. I don't think it was that. I think I was feeling it. Fast forward to the end of the session, which I didn't know it was over until I got a text. And she says, yeah, everything's good. I just want to let you know, while I was doing your session, I saw this image of you taking me on a little boat through like reeds and weeds, and we're just kind of like piloting through, looking at little sea life and things like that. She goes, that's the weirdest thing. I don't know. I don't even know what that is, but I figured I'd share it with you. And that, what she was describing, is me kayaking.
Oh.
And I go through the reeds and the weeds, and I look at little sea life. I do it in salt water because there's more sea life going on. That is my Zen spot.
Okay.
And
That's
somehow
awesome.
she tapped into it, and it wasn't even like in season when she did it, but I guess I'm thinking about it or whatever. And that for me, aside from feeling great after it was over and days after, her being able to know that, you're not going on Facebook, IG, anything, TikTok, and seeing that, she was able to pull it out. And for me, again, long distance, that was my game changer. That was my total validation. That yeah, you're able to tap into somebody else's energy with your permission, and get it done. Have you pulled things out from people or like realized certain situations when you do a session?
Oh yeah. So that is something that I do. Like I am also like an intuitive healer. So when I'm working on someone, I can feel like, for example, I had somebody come last week or last Saturday, and it felt like I woke up around 3:00 in the morning and it felt like my ribs were broken. I could not sit up. I couldn't even really breathe. It was awful. And so my client comes and we sit down, and I'm so uncomfortable and trying not to show my discomfort because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. And so they get on my table and I just say,
this always happens, by the way, when we're talking with somebody that harnesses energy or is a medium. I'm not even kidding. Like tech things, calls come in, weird things happen.
I'm sorry, what just happened? I don't know.
Don't even give it a thought. I'm so used to it.
Where was I? I'm sorry.
So you were talking with that person, and you're feeling your ribs were painful, and then
I'm sorry.
Now you're in front of them.
Yeah, so I'm in front of them, and I don't want them to feel like like I'm acting strange or anything. So I was just trying to really harness it in. And then she gets on my table finally, and I was just like, okay, were you in a car accident? She said, yes, I was. And I said, did you have your ribs broken? And she said, yes, I did. And I was like, case closed. So at that point, I was able to release that from me. So I didn't feel that pain anymore. It was gone that fast. So I just needed to find the source of where the pain came from and release it. And then I was able to work on her. I put what I do is called like a psychic drain. And then I do is where I put like a drain on someone, and then I fill it with like white light energy for healing. And then I direct it out of their feet. So I open their feet, and then they can see, and then I allow that, like, it looks like kind of like black sludge coming out of their feet. And then their feet kind of move everywhere. And I just tell them, you can try to keep your feet still, but they're going to move. It's okay. I just open them energetically. And then they, it just went, it's been really wild. So,
wow. I'm just going to say, based on what you just said, if you're getting anything on me, you're feeling anything, bring it my way. I'm an open book, no filter. I don't care what it is. Just giving you the total green light. Just saying.
Okay.
I had no idea that that you're intuitive, that you run a little deep there on the psychic medium side of things, which is kind of fascinating because you harness the power of energy. You really get it based on those things, and then can apply it to Reiki healing. I think that's super cool. So unique.
Yeah, it is. I love it. So I also do like home investigations and things, and house clearings. And when I do a house clearing, I do a Reiki seal on the home. So that is one thing that I love to do. I don't ever put those like out. I don't film those or take videos because a lot of them are like families that are having like pretty serious issues. So I don't want to really put them on blast. You know what I mean? I want them to feel comfortable with me.
Sure, everything's confidential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you know? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm based on my understanding and learning of this and real life, situations. I feel that my throat chakra has a major issue.
I was getting ready to say that. I'm sorry, but I could feel a pull from your throat. It just feels a little closed, like a little dry today. I don't know if you have a cold or if you have some thyroid issues, or I don't know, but it just feels a little tight.
Yeah, I don't get into the details, but I've got reasons to believe that, and you just feel it, like now that I know.
I do.
Yeah, and it's also the throat chakra is if you don't speak your mind.
True.
You can have challenges with that. That can clog up the energy too, right?
I feel a little issue also with your stomach, like with your solar plexus area. So I feel like these two on you are a little, I don't want to say, I'm going to say a little on the narrow side. They could be opened up a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Can you feel that? Like, let's say somebody's on your table, or even if you're doing it virtually, can you feel a different energy coming off of the different chakras? Let's say it's the third eye. Let's say it's the throat chakra, the solar plexus. What do you feel?
I do. I feel a different. Okay, so like what I call when I feel something infinitive, I call it discrepancy. That's just me. That's my word that I use. So if I am working on you and I call it scanning. If I'm scanning or bioscanning your body, so it's like hovering. Okay, so I'm like this. And if I'm scanning your body and I feel kind of like a pull, to me that would be a discrepancy, and that's where I would put a drain. So that's where I would like spend some extra time. Also with Reiki, the cool thing is I could be working on your head, but you could be having a broken foot, but it's going to go where it needs to.
Thank you for saying that, because that's my understanding, that the energy goes where it needs to go.
It does.
You're infusing somebody with positive energy, and sometimes you don't know where it needs to go. It goes there. What do people tell you? Ashlie, after a session, how do they describe how they feel?
Normally really relaxed. I just tell them to drink a lot of water. They're probably going to be going to the bathroom a whole lot because I open up their, lymphatic system. It's going to be kind of draining a little bit with the drains that I put on them, just getting all the sludge out of their bodies. Usually they're pretty emotional, a little bit happy. A lot of people that can't sleep, that have insomnia, that come and see me, they knock out on my table, and I just let them sleep for a while. Then I'll wake them up.
Been there.
Yeah.
And I don't snore, but I went with somebody to an in-person session, and they even said, you were snoring, you were out cold. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
So
knock it.
Why does that happen? Why do we fall asleep during Reiki?
I don't know. It's so funny. Somebody came to me and they said, every time I come to see you, I cry, I hug you, and I come to you and sleep. I said, it's the best day ever. Right. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess it's good for emotional healing. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of crazy. Each session is different, but each session I feel is very rewarding for me. It's also, I'm healing myself when I heal others. So
I'll tell you, every time I've had Reiki, the outcome has been different. Common thread. Like the weight of the world somewhat lifted off your shoulders. But I remember one session I had, I felt a little like drained, like you described. However, and I think it was on a Sunday, the next day, Monday, Tuesday, I had so much clarity on situations before me after that session. Like, oh, that's what I need to do. Oh, that's what I need to do. But there was a weird, tiredness from it. Then there was other times where I walk out like on a cloud, like, yeah, this is great. Every session is different. I don't know if it's the practitioner. I don't know if it's the way the energy goes in. But it's all good. That's where I'm going with that.
I would say it's I would say it's a magnitude of things, but I think if you feel comfortable with your practitioner, I think that you can go really far. So I think that that's kind of like where your healing begins. I open up a space for people to feel completely comfortable with me. My cabin, my little cottage is seriously in the woods. So when they come and see me, they're going the distance, and I'm very well aware of that. And so when I open it up, I try to give them the whole experience, so.
Love it. That is seriously, that is, I yearn for that, like that cottage in the middle of nowhere, and that just peace. You don't know what peace is until you realize you don't have it in your life.
And that's true. And that's totally true.
When you're working with somebody, okay, let's say you identify throat chakra as kind of mucked up, or could be the solar plexus, whatever it might be. You clear everything out, or for the most part. Sometimes you can't get 100%, as I understand it, but things are definitely way better. How long does it last, and is it really based on your life in a situation? Let's say you got a personal thing going on there, and a week later you have a confrontation with somebody, and it's very emotional and draining. Is it possible just because of that certain chakras could get clogged up again?
I mean, they could. Yeah. I mean, they could.
Sure.
However, if you come in and you're perfectly aligned and there are certain things that they can do to kind of take care of themselves. So I always tell my clients when they leave, hey, listen, go home and take drink a lot of water, drink extra water today than you normally would, take a bath in some Epsom salt, use 3 cups of Epsom salt, sit in a bath in a tub of water as hot as you can get it. It's going to get the rest of the impurities out of your body. So if anybody does have an issue like that, I do keep my doors open so they can call me, and I can kind of walk them through things to kind of, not really walk them off keep them from walking off a cliff, but to help them kind of balance where they need a little bit of support. Yeah.
Support them. Yeah. Because, that practitioner that told me about, me kayaking and all of that, I never really followed up with them because it was just, that was it. It was a text and that was it. But I could have, maybe reached back and said, you realize, and maybe gone even deeper, like what else you get? If you got that, but I want people to know that nobody can do this on somebody else without your permission. It's not like you're walking into Walgreens or CVS and you see somebody and you're like, I'm going to throw some good energy. Hey, that'd be great. But it's got to be accepted, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could send well wishes and prayers out to everyone,
Sure.
But I mean, it's, I do send Reiki out to the world all the time. I do world mass, things like that. But if to someone directly, I don't want to be intrusive, you know what I mean? So I would always ask for permission, but normally if somebody comes to me, I'm going to send them a healing blessing. Yeah. If I know that someone is having surgery or something, I will go out and I'll just say, hey, I'm praying for you. And I'll leave it at that.
I'm glad you said that. For anybody that, and by the way, Reiki has been around for, only recognized in the last 100 and some years, but it's been around forever. Right. This is how people healed in many different cultures. But for anybody that is hearing and watching this and thinking, oh, those two crazy woo-woo people, or whatever, just what you said, energy. You say to somebody, I'm praying for you. I'm sending positive vibes to you. That's what we're talking about. It is energy is vibration. You're sending it. And guess what? Somebody could be 5 states away, close person, to you, and maybe they got something going on. You say, hey, I'm praying for you, sending that. It gets to them. And it makes it, many people say, yeah, prayers do work. Yes, you're doing the same thing, but in a different way in terms of infusing somebody with positive energy. And that's how you can do it virtually. You don't even have to be in the same room. And even if you are,
Correct.
You're still doing it the same way. You're sending it from you to them, the energy, the vibration.
Yes. Yes.
And all of these quantum physics type things we're talking about, long discovered, some dude, I don't know, I think his name is Einstein. I started talking about this, and nobody was listening back then, but fortunately, people are listening now. Ashlie, how do we find you? If somebody this is resonating and they're thinking, you know what, I could use some positive energy. How do they find you?
You can look me up on Facebook at the Reiki Cottage. They can find me on my website, the Reiki Cottage Kentucky at gmail.com. They can find me on Instagram on the Reiki Cottage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So,
and I just want to just jump in and say it's the Reiki Cottage, KY as in Kentucky at gmail.com. You had to say Kentucky.
Correct.
I just want to say the state abbreviation to find it. I'm telling you, I got this, all you say is Reiki Cottage and I'm on board. I just have this visual of just a sanctuary.
I love it. It's really my sacred space.
Love that. Thank you so much for being here, and looking forward next time we get a chance to talk.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.